Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Minds on Mushrooms. I'm your host, Maggie Kirkwood. This is so fun. I am with Robyn Stymick, who is currently, where are you located, Robyn, right at the moment?
Tirana, Albania.
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I just want to get the listeners up to speed here. Robyn and I do go way back, and I think the last time we were kind of conversing might have been like 2014-ish, rings a bell.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a while. And you have just kind of leapt into, I'm going to let you share your story and your journey here. But I just want to kind of frame it up for the listeners that at one point, maybe about a decade ago, give or take, you were married, you're living, what most people presume to be just, a perfect life with an awesome job and husband. And at some point, you must have realized something else was calling, or there was more, and you up and moved your life across seas and have started a new business and a whole new path. And I just want to welcome you to the show and thank you for taking time to talk to us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
So yeah, let's kind of start. If you don't mind, I'd like to just kind of talk about, was there a specific moment or, series of events that kind of led to, I guess, an awakening or some sort of acknowledgement that, life isn't, for me, it was this feeling of, I was just kind of feeling trapped in my own life and with no light. Is there anything that you can share? Is that a good place to kind of start, or?
Yeah. Yeah. It's always so hard to pinpoint, but I mean, yes, there was a big moment, but where I was like, for sure knew that I was like going through an awakening and like needed to make a huge change, but there were small moments too. So I feel like the smaller moments started, much earlier when I was still married and living my corporate life in the music business where I worked. I think that I just first started to notice, maybe I had my job at Sony Music Group for 20 years. And I would say the last at least 5 years that I was working there, I just kind of lost my light even for that. And that's a super exciting job. But I just felt like I was going through the motions and I wasn't excited anymore. And I just felt like something was missing. I was supposed to be doing something different. Just felt like I had more to offer and I wasn't sharing it with the world. But it was just like, but I didn't even realize it then. It was just like a little something in my head or my belly or my chest that I just couldn't really put my finger on. So I would say, I guess that's kind of when it started. So that would be like, I can't even do the math.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe around 2014, 2015. We'll just go with that. No, yeah, maybe around there, 2016.
And then I want to review. So your job, you're working for Sony Music Group, right?
Yep.
And I just remember seeing you on the socials and always out or with concerts and musicians and famous people. And
yeah, it was like really fun. I had a really cool job. I mean, there was nothing for me to be sad or disappointed about. And I wasn't. I really enjoyed the job while I had it. Mm-hmm. And I was very lucky. And it was a really great opportunity and a great experience that I still really cherish. But, things change. And mm-hmm. That's what happened.
Yes, they do. So you were kind of just, like you had said before, little signs here and there, or kind of just feeling less excited or motivated. And I'm sure this kind of was, brought to your own attention. Did you kind of like, what was your path in trying to unravel and kind of discover some of this stuff?
Well, basically, like I said, I was just feeling very numb, kind of. And when I lost, so in 20, I'll just give on a timeline for you to make it a little more real. So in 20, no, I have to remember. In March of 2021, I ended up losing my job. So the department that I worked in after COVID, and COVID had a little to do with it, but not everything. But I worked in the radio department. And, as you know, radio is not how it used to be. Radio is it's not, I worked with terrestrial radio and everything's very online now, obviously. So they just made big cutbacks in the department and it was time for me to go. So after 20 years, that was my life. Like that was the only job I had after college. And it really I didn't realize how much it was my identity and how much I was like, who am I without being Robyn, who works at RCA Records? Like that's how everybody knows me. That's how I know myself. So it was just like it was a time where I was really confused and lost and I didn't know what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go next. And so I kind of struggled. I got a pretty nice severance. So I was able to take some time to try to figure it out and reassess where I wanted to go with the rest of my life. But in that time frame, I would say a year and a half later. So I'm still I started dabbling in real estate a little bit.
That's great.
Yeah, I was kind of in sales in the music business. And so it's kind of a natural transition. And a lot of people thought I would be good at that. And while I was doing that, a year and a half later, so December of 2022, I caught my husband cheating on me. And so between the job loss and that, and I still didn't have a new job because I was just dabbling in real estate and I wasn't really loving it and I wasn't really connecting to it. I just that's what I call when I hit my rock bottom.
Hi, friends. I just wanted to take a quick pause and share with you something I've been so excited to share. I'm now officially a certified psychedelic practitioner. As you know, this work truly lights me up. I love meeting people no matter where they are in their journey, whether they're just curious about plant medicine and microdosing or looking to take a deeper dive. All of my offerings can be experienced in person or virtually, so we can work together no matter where you live. I'm currently offering 3 programs. The first is Bloom, which is a guided microdosing journey. This program is meant to spark clarity, creativity, and emotional balance. Awaken is a program for those looking to do a deeper dive with medicine. I offer a ceremonial breakthrough experience designed to open new perspectives and shift what's possible in your life. And with Rebirth, my most immersive journey, it combines a ceremonial breakthrough experience followed by ongoing microdosing integration, so your transformation takes root and really starts to grow. Every single journey is held with deep intention, safety, and care. If something in you feels called, trust that feeling. Head on over to mindsonmushrooms.com/work with me to view my offerings and learn more. Thank you.
I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know who I am. I don't enjoy my life. Very low, kind of dead.
I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm curious to ask, have you reached the point where, you look at obviously such a horrific thing to catch your husband in the act of something like that, but as a huge blessing?
Oh yeah. Now it's a huge blessing in disguise. And please don't feel bad for me or anything because I do, it's cliche, but I do believe everything happens for a reason. And that was supposed to happen. And I was also supposed to marry him and have a relationship with him and learn from that. And I did not see any of this at the time, by the way. Obviously,
right. Absolutely.
Very depressed, not understanding why I'm being punished in my life and thinking I'm being punished. So no, I didn't see that, but I do now. Yes.
I see.
Definitely a blessing in disguise.
And then, so at what point was it that did you kind of, make this discovery and you thought you needed to get out of town, or how was it that what was your move after this horrible discovery?
Yeah. Well, the universe actually kind of made the decision for me. So it was pretty great. My husband and I, at the time, we actually had a 2-week trip planned to Thailand in January of 2023. And As I said, I caught him in December of 2022. So this trip was already booked. It was already planned. It was done. We were just going to get on all we had to do was get on a plane and go. So I had kind of forgotten about all that when all this drama is happening. And then one day it hit me and I was like, oh, we have a trip to Thailand. And I was like, well, I'm going to go. I'm like, and he's not. So I
Wow.
went.
Oh my
But
God.
I just decided I'm always been a huge, huge fan of travel. I love traveling. It was always it was a big part of when my husband and I got married. Like I was like, we have to be able to travel internationally at least every other year. And before I met him, I traveled a bunch. I studied abroad when I was in college, and I've always wanted to take a trip, an open-ended trip where I didn't have a return ticket. And having a career and a job and a family and a life, there's very few opportunities to do that. And so here it was, it just dropped into my lap.
That's wow.
So yeah, I decided to go, and I also decided not to come back. So I was like, I'm going to stay for a while and see what happens. And that's how
Did
that
you,
started.
was it a one-way ticket situation?
Well, we had obviously it was round trip because we were supposed to be going together and coming home. But I went out there. I told my family, my parents and my sister before I left, I just said, I don't think I'm going to come back after the 2 weeks.
I
So,
see.
and then they were just like, when are you coming back? And I was like, I don't know. I'll tell you.
Oh my God. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about that trip. And I want to hear about your kind of state of mind, like, yeah, I want to hear all the things if you were looking to do some healing or escaping or a little of both. And yeah, what did this trip offer you?
Yeah. Oh, so much. But it changed my life. But when I left, I think it was a little bit of escaping, obviously. I think I just wanted to get the hell out of town. I was like, I can't be here. It was also winter, and we had a terrible winter that year, and it was snowing all the time and freezing, and I just wanted to get out. And also I'm crying and depressed and sad, and it's the holidays, and it was rough. And so I'm sure there was an element of escapism there and maybe running away from my problems. But I think I have a very good intuition, and I just had like this sense that like I needed to do this for myself, and that something was going to happen once I got out there, which is why I didn't know when I would be coming back. And Southeast Asia is such a beautiful place for spiritual healing. And I'm not religious. I never have been, but I've never really practiced any organized religion in my life, but I've always felt a sense of spirituality, but never did anything about it, never really talked about it, just kind of let it sit there and whatever. And so I felt like this was my opportunity to maybe unleash that and like shovel it up and try to figure out what's in there. And so I really got to Thailand and explored Buddhism, and then went to Cambodia and Vietnam and Bali and all those different beautiful religions mixed together, and their spirituality. And I did it. This spiritual journey just sort of started on its own. It just was like a roller coaster or somersaulting like down a hill. It just kept picking up speed as I kept going, and I just kept soaking it up. Like I couldn't get enough. And so that's really, so I think it started as escapism kind of and running away, but then it became running towards something.
Right. Exactly.
I wasn't running away anymore. I was running towards something better because I could feel it, but I just had to keep going.
Do you have any, I mean, only what you're comfortable with, but do you have any stories offhand of just some sort of, beautiful spiritual experience? Or like you said, once you started having access to like seeing the light, it can be, is there anything you can share there?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm super into yoga too. So I've been practicing for over 25 years. And so I knew once I decided to stay that I was going to go to a yoga retreat in Bali once I decided to stay. So I did do this really amazing spiritual yoga retreat there. But also when I went back to Thailand at some point, and I did my first Buddhist meditation retreat in Thailand, which was like an introduction to Buddhist meditation. And it was super cool. It was 3 days out in the woods up north by Chiang Mai and Pai, and kind of in the middle of nowhere. But it was so cool to just be in that. We were living with monks. It was like meditation summer camp with monks.
Okay, question.
Yeah, sure.
At this point, had you been meditating? Like, was meditation a part of your life?
Very good question. No, prior to in America, never. I always wanted to. I was always, because I practiced yoga in America, obviously, and yoga has this meditational element. But, the yoga in the West is so different from the yoga in the East. And it's more about getting a workout in and out on your lunch hour, power yoga, super sweaty. Like, it's totally different. So although I felt zen and more like calm and relaxed when I got out, and that was nice, it wasn't the same. So there wasn't there wasn't a meditation element to the yoga that I was taking. But when I got out to Southeast Asia and so I'm living off my savings now at this point, and I was like, I'm just going to stay for a while. So I had time. I wasn't working. And so I did decide to incorporate. I was like, I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to try. So I just started meditating on my own, like every morning. And then I would learn, then I just I just felt better even when I looked at, because you don't need to know how to meditate. You just do it.
Yeah.
I know that makes it sound simple, but I mean, it's really just about being calm and peaceful and just allowing your mind to be. And that is very hard to do. So don't get me wrong. But
yeah, I like to say, I mean, I'm on a whole journey with meditation, and did a ton of Pilates and yoga, and same thing, really kind of feeling confident about meditation. But it was really, when, I don't know if you're a fan of Joe Dispenza.
Oh yeah, I know all about him. Yeah.
But just this idea about
man out in the Southeast Asia backpacking circuit.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just for the first time, he was someone that had just this notion of, because again, it's so cliche, like clear your mind, let the thoughts pass if they arise. But kind of finding this zone where you're so dialed in that you don't have a name, time doesn't exist. There's no identity. There's no, and kind of like sitting in that void. Right. And it can, so I am a huge, I love conversation around meditation. I love the idea of just normalizing, any meditation. I have a 14-year-old. I think it could do wonders. I think there's studies in Europe where the kids are meditating and there's no more detention and things like that.
They should be teaching it in school, honestly.
Absolutely.
There should be meditation time every day for every
starting in kindergarten. We'll start that up. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
But anyway, so it sounds like you had like the most insanely awesome meditation retreat with Buddhist monks, and you probably learned so much, right?
I did. And that was just the beginning. That was like only a 3-day thing. And it was like intro to Buddhism meditation. But then I kept traveling, and then the next year I went to this was last year, I was in India, and I went to a Tibetan Buddhist meditation retreat that was a 10-day silent, completely silent.
Silent. Oh my God.
For 10 days.
I need to hear more. Was it absolutely challenging? Tell me more. How do you be silent for 10 days?
For me, it was easy. I have no problem not talking. I'm alone all the time because I've been traveling. I'm a solo female traveler, so I'm alone most of the time. So I'm used to not talking sometimes I got to talk to interact with people as I'm traveling, but I don't really have a companion that I'm speaking with all the time. So,
and plus not English, or English isn't always everywhere, right?
No, it is everywhere. Yeah. It's everywhere.
Oh, it is everywhere. Okay. That's right.
You have no problem. A little, but most people speak English. We're very lucky that we speak English. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying.
Well, you were saying it wasn't a problem for being silent for 10 days.
Oh yeah.
What would
Yeah.
happen if you did speak? Do you get like slapped?
So there was 1 hour a day, 1 hour, because
Oh.
it was also like another Buddhist lecture. Like these monks were giving us lectures all day in the
Mm,
temple to learn about the beginnings of meditation and the
mm.
philosophy of meditation and everything behind it. So we were like taking notes, like it was like
Okay.
school. And then
Yeah.
we had discussion group once a day, so we could talk for 1 hour in our discussion group, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I learned so much, and I didn't find it difficult because like I said, I like being alone. I like being quiet. And for me, it was really refreshing. They take your phones and your laptops and all your electronics away. So like when we got all the people got our stuff back, we were like all nervous, like nobody wanted it. It's amazing.
Mm.
Nobody wanted their electronics anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got so
Get rid
used
of
to
that
just
shit.
being in the woods and not having it.
Yeah.
And like
I
I recommend everybody do something like that. It's so good for your head to like unplug, seriously unplug, not just put your phone away for a day or a couple hours, like for 10 days.
I was proud of myself today when I purposely left my phone in the car when I went into the grocery store.
Good. You gotta start somewhere.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Have you done a silent retreat? Have you done any blindfolded? So what would
Oh,
that
I
be
know what
called?
you're talking about, like in the
Yeah.
dark cave
Yeah.
house or whatever. No, but I've heard about it and I would totally do it. But
Yeah.
I
I
haven't
feel
yet.
like that would be challenging.
I think it
Yeah.
would be, but I would do
Yeah.
it. Like I'm in for anything these days. Anything I can like dig deeper into my soul and do the work and like work on my inner child, my inner spirit, all the traumas and things that I have buried that I didn't even know about before I left. Like
Yeah. Let's
you have to do the work. You have to do the work or you're not going to get better. And
do
we
you have
all
it?
have trauma because for the longest time I was out here and I was like, I don't think I have any trauma. We do.
Yeah, I think it's so funny too the way we individually label our own trauma. And so some things that, you know, greatly affect others may not ours. And but it's all just deserving of conversation. And I'm trying to have more conversation about, addressing trauma, absolutely. And some of the, the shadow and the dark. But then also when we're sitting in meditation or when we, a plant medicine ceremony, when we receive some of these gifts and some of these knowings and feelings, celebrating them and conversing about that too, because that can also just as easily be suppressed, in my opinion. So, I'm just fascinated. So you're like, over there, the world is your oyster, but you're just soaking up all of this meditation and spiritual learnings. And so at some point were you like, I don't want to jump ahead or anything, but when it came to work and being able to survive, how did that all start panning out for you? Or
Oh, that's a really good question too. I think like my aha moment when I was like, I'm not going home, like, because I told everybody I was going to go home eventually. I thought I was going to go home, but my aha moment when I was like, I'm never going home. Like, of course I go home to visit, but like
yes.
to live.
Okay.
Was when I was in Vietnam. I was 4 months into my trip and I was on the back of a motorbike doing the Ha Giang motor loop, which is a popular motorbike tour that they do up in the northern part of Vietnam. I did a 3-night, 4-day, and
Wow.
it's just so beautiful. And there's such rich culture, and there's 54 different ethnic minorities up there, and you stay with them. You stay at their homes. They make you dinner along the way, and it's just such a beautiful, wonderful community experience that like just touched my heart so much. And I was on the last day and we were driving back to the ending point and I was just like bawling on the back of the motorbike because I was like, I just knew this world is so beautiful and there's so much to learn and I feel like my heart is soaring and I've never felt this way. And that is when I decided I'm not going home. So it's also when I was like, I guess that means I'm going to be a digital nomad.
Right.
Because I wanted to keep traveling. I didn't want to settle down in one place. So I needed a job that I could take with me on the road and do from anywhere. So I decided on the back of that bike that I was going to be a digital nomad. And I was like, what can I do? And I was like, I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I just knew I wanted it to be something with travel. And in the beginning, it just started as a blog, a travel blog that I was sharing with my friends and family. And then I called it Wandering Toward the Light because, well, there's a whole long story behind that. But, I just think it just has a beautiful ring to it. And I just really, there's something about the light that is just so powerful.
Yeah. Well, let's touch on it a little bit. I think, a lot of my work with psychedelics, it's almost like there's the idea of, well, for me, it took me psychedelics to like realize that I had an inner light, I guess, and that maybe I was letting it be dimmed or just not aware of, my negative self chatter, like all the things. But I also feel that the light for me can signify like almost this like pull. Like it's like you can't name it. But it's like, it's not here or
Yeah, I
but
know exactly.
yeah. And so yeah, I mean, if you want to share more of your kind of definition, but I mean, I just love the name of if that's your Instagram or your business name, essentially.
It is my business name. Yeah,
That's so
Wandering Toward the
beautiful.
Light. Yeah.
So beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I didn't have any specific question, but I was just wanting to touch upon the light. It's so important. And
it's so important. Yeah. I mean, totally. And I feel like I could just share a little bit more about how the title or the name of my business came, because one day I met this girl and I was just I met this girl who I became really good friends with, who was also a digital nomad, and she had been doing it much longer than me, like the travel game and the business game. And so I kind of looked up to her, but I was telling her the story about how I was meeting all these people and they just seemed really attracted to me. And I was like, this is so like, why are all these people wanting to talk to me? It's so weird. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not doing anything. And she's like, I wasn't. I didn't I felt like I was in candid camera. I'm like, why do all these people want to talk? Like, it was really weird. And I told her that, and she was like, well, it's so obvious. She's like, your light is on. And I was like, I'm like, what is that? Like, people, because she's like, you've been here for like 5 weeks now. She's like, you're feeling comfortable. You're discovering yourself. You're learning about you, and you're projecting it out into the world, and your light is on, and people are attracted to that. And I just thought that was so beautiful. I have chills right now talking about that.
Yeah. I
just thought that was so beautiful. And I'm like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I'm like, I don't ever want my light to go off.
Right. And then at least for me, I felt a lot of times when your light is dimmed or off, you're unaware. Like there's no idea that it could be, the polarity of feeling that way. So, I mean, I love, what a great story and what great friend for,
I'm still friends with her.
Beautiful piece of knowledge. Yeah. So yeah, you were just and then also I believe, the power of synchronicity and when you are exuding and, from your heart and soul, I feel like people are just put in your path, and sometimes to help you realize, hey, your light is dim, or to provide inspiration.
Like everybody. I firmly believe that everybody I meet for a reason now.
Absolutely,
every single person, even in the past. I just obviously didn't realize it then, but I'm so acutely aware of it now. Every person I meet, that I'm supposed to meet them, especially the ones I have relationships with. Like, it's important. There's something I'm going to learn from them, or they're going to learn from me. It's a two-way street, and we're supposed to meet each other.
Absolutely. I think it's good to keep that, in mind. And if things do get uncomfortable, it's like, where's the lesson in this, right? And I think we could all just kind of keep that, if we could keep that at the back of our mind, that everything is meant to help us learn and grow. I mean, everything.
Just need to be aware.
Right. Okay. So then things started kind of coming together for an idea around what sort of digital nomad business, correct? You
Yep.
have, and
Yep.
that's what we're putting together here, wandering toward the light.
Yes. So I started the blog, and then you're doing so well. With the order of events. But yeah, I started the blog, and then I was just like, and then I found this travel, you're online a lot with the social media and whatnot. And I found my feed was just getting filled with like travel stuff and influencers and whatever. I didn't want to be an influencer, but I noticed travel coaching is a thing. Most people don't know what that is, but it's different than a travel agent. And I was getting a lot in my feed from this group called the Travel Coach Network. And I was very, very intrigued. And so I ended up going to them, learning about them. I ended up getting certified as a travel coach. So I am a certified coach.
And describe that, how it's different than...
So a travel agent is someone you're going to call when you want to book a trip. Like, I want to go to Hawaii, and they're going to book your resort, your hotel, your rental car, bing, boom, bam, you're done. That's a travel agent. They're not going to help. So a travel coach is someone who's actually going to guide you and help you figure out more intentional travel. Like, you'll come to me if you're like, I want to go somewhere, but like warm and tropical, but I want to get more out of it than just laying at the pool. Like, but I don't know what I want. Like, I'm super like, what am I, but I feel something. I want to learn something. I want it to be more meaningful than just laying at a pool, drinking pina coladas. So that's me. So you would call me, and we would talk through your goals, your aspirations, like, what is it that you're unhappy with in your current life that you're trying to get away from, or that you want to learn from, and and then we put all that together and figure out where the best place for you to go would be. So then so it's kind of like coaching someone just to, like I said, more intentional travel. So you get more out of your trip than just a vacation. You're going to take something home with you.
And do you find...
Magnet.
Right. Well, do you find are the majority of your clientele women, and are they usually traveling solo, or is it...
Mine in particular, but that doesn't apply to all. There's all different kinds of travel coaches, but that's pretty much what I'm targeting in my niche. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you host retreats as well? Yeah.
Yeah. I just started. So I just started I had my first retreat this past June. It's a yoga retreat, yoga wellness retreat actually had one guy, but so guys are welcome too, but I just feel like it's primarily women who are attracted to my services. But we did a yoga sailing trip from Dubrovnik to Split for 7 days on a sailboat. And we did yoga every morning and meditation on the boat. And it was just absolutely lovely. I had a wonderful group of people, and we just all got along so well. And it was like, honestly, like some of the best moments I've never been filled with so much joy. There are pictures of me from that trip where I literally feel like I am glowing through the camera. Like, it's crazy. So
and your first was, you held this past June.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's amazing. Good for you.
Yeah. And then I have 2 more coming up this year. I'm doing, because that was so inspiring and it went so well and it just filled my heart, and everybody had such a good time. And everybody just said they learned so much and felt like it was all about self-care and renewal. And because that's so important to, helping yourself grow and learn and all the things that you need to do to uncover what's happening inside you. And you can't do that when you're in that hamster wheel of life every single day, doing in your little bubble, doing the same thing. You have to get out of that. So I'm doing another yoga wellness retreat in Morocco this coming March, and then another sailboat trip, a yoga sail trip in Greece in June next year.
Wow. Well, I might be there. I mean,
please. I would love to have you. Would love to have you. It would be amazing.
Oh my God. Well, I'm planting a seed. But yeah.
I'll water it.
So let's talk about, you're currently in Albania. Where? I
know it's unusual.
I would like just to hear more about your travels, where and how you when you come to stay, I guess, a little bit longer period of time. Like, is there any Any conversation you have about, kind of how you ended up where you are now? And
Sure, because I'm absolutely in love with Tirana, Albania, so I can talk about it forever.
I want to hear more. Yes.
It's I never ever thought I would land in Tirana, Albania, ever. So this is much as a shock to me as it is to anybody else. I didn't even know where Albania was a few months ago. I swear to God. I had to look at a map. I'm like, where is it?
I might.
But yeah. So in general, when I'm traveling, I'm on my third year of travel right now. So in general, I'm on the go quite a bit. But I have slowed down significantly. Like I was moving very fast in the beginning and I just keep moving slower and slower now because it's just too much. Like I love traveling and I don't mind moving quickly, but I get so much more out of my experience and I learn so much more about myself and the culture and the spirituality of the place and the people and whatever when I don't have to move as often. So I try to stay longer and longer in each place. So I was averaging about a month in each place a while ago. And then it was kind of 2. And sometimes I volunteer and teach yoga places in exchange for food and lodging to save some money. And that can be a little longer, like 2 to 3 months. So I've done that as well. But after my Croatia yoga sail trip in June, I had a friend, my best friend came to visit me and we traveled for a week down the coast of the Balkans, down the Adriatic Sea through Croatia.
Wow.
And we ended in Albania. Okay. And she had to fly out of Tirana, which is the capital of Albania, to go home. So we returned the rental car and I was just going to stay for a couple days. And after one night, I just had this feeling. My friend and I were walking to dinner and I was like, I think I really like it here. And that never happens, but I could just, it happens, but it doesn't usually happen that fast. Like I hadn't even seen it in daylight.
Wow.
And I was just, she left and I immediately went back to my apartment and I called my Airbnb person and I was like, I need to extend for 2 weeks. And then I extended for another 2 weeks. And then I got a new place and I got a 2.5 month lease, or maybe I was in the other place. I don't know, but I've been here for it'll be 4 months by the time.
Wow. I love that. And I love how, considering you've literally been, when you get these notions or ideas that you can picture yourself or it just feels good and you're able to just like pounce on that. That's so amazing and good for you. Like
It's a bigger story to that because I had to really let go. I told myself I'm trying to only make decisions where my gut says yes. I'm just trying to listen to my gut so hard because it talks to us every day. We just choose not to hear it. And we have to hear it because it's correct every time.
Yeah.
But we're not. We just hear what we want to hear, though. And so I had all these big plans, like Tirana and Albania wasn't glamorous enough in my head originally. And I had all these plans that I was going to leave and go to Portugal and go somewhere else because it was more glamorous. It just sounded cooler. But like, as I was extending my weeks and I was still researching like where I was going to go next. I just was buying myself more time. And finally I was like, no, I was like, my gut is telling me to stay. Like, why am I ignoring it? And honestly, it's as soon as I made that decision and just got a long-term lease, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. Things started aligning. I met I have a new best friend here. I met some amazing people. Like the ideas for my business started flowing like crazy. Like I'm in a serious flow state. And I just feel like I was supposed to be here for these reasons. So I'm so glad that I listened to my gut. Listen to your gut.
I love that. Well, yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Again, I enjoy any conversation that, kind of just conversation around how to access or start accessing, some of these, I guess, knowings, or I like to think of my intuition. But do you have any like sort of daily ritual or like mini morning meditate? Yeah, I'd love to hear if you have any sort of, I'd love to hear, please.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I think meditation has so much to do with it because now I've been meditating for 3 years and it's changed my life. I just have much more clarity. And it's really hard to explain. And like when you talk about knowings, if you talk about that with other people, because I talk about it all the time, they're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Don't you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
About the knowing. Yeah.
And it doesn't happen every time. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens when you're meditating, but sometimes it doesn't. Like I woke up in the middle of the night one night and like had a huge download. We also call them downloads. And I had to like write all this stuff down, like, and I don't even know where it came from. And sometimes it'll just hit you in the middle of the day. It's just, I just think you've trained your mind through meditation to just settle, be more calm, be aware. It's all about awareness. And meditation allows you to be aware of your surroundings, aware of how your body's feeling. Like your body will tell you, but we just don't take the time to listen because we're always rushing and hurrying to the next thing. And we're not slowing down and we're not listening. And that's meditating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So morning routine. I'm sorry. Do you want to hear the morning routine?
Yeah. No, please. Yeah.
It's get up, do yoga for at least 15 minutes to an hour. Sometimes it's only 15. It just depends. But I have to move right away. It's either yoga or bar or take a walk, move, somatic healing, anything, shake around. I don't care. Usually it's yoga though. And then I meditate. It depends for how long. Sometimes I do it and sometimes I do my own in silence. Sometimes I listen to a guided meditation. I'm a Reiki healer. So sometimes I just give myself Reiki. Almost every day I give myself Reiki, but I meditate and do Reiki. And then I write in my journal. So I do those three. I try to do those three things every morning. I mean, obviously it's not every morning, but I try. And honestly, that takes 3 hours.
Wow.
If you want to do it right, you cannot be rushed.
I was literally just about to proclaim my routine takes about 7 minutes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no. Well, I don't have a real job. I have my own job. So I have my own hours.
I mean, I do too. I just my morning routine. I also take time to do, independent meditation. But yeah, I like to absolutely like just moving my body. Are you familiar with Qigong by chance?
Oh, yeah. I have a friend who teaches it. Yeah, I met her in Costa Rica. Yeah, so I did it a lot when I was in Costa Rica.
I'm familiar with a few of the movements, and I just stick to a couple of the movements. So I have not trained or anything. But energy-wise, just to get things flowing. And then, I also have just recently in the past, year started incorporating breath work into my daily meditation. And there's this technique. It's the clear channel breath. So essentially just acknowledging our chakra system and clearing air. Inhale above your crown, and then when you exhale through the root into the earth. But the breaths are so deep, like coming from the earth and visualizing and feeling the expansion beyond your crown each time. And then ultimately, it can lead to an altered state on the inhale. Just a little tidbit, okay? No, but
I totally love breath work, and that is something that I want to dive deeper into. It's definitely on my spiritual to-do list, if you will. So, yeah, I'd like to hear more about that. Sounds cool.
It's just so funny how the breath is, literally the most important, keys to life, and So I agree. I think that, and just some of these really short, but pretty intense exercises can really get. And for me, it's just mainly this feeling of moving energy. I like if stagnant energy, and to
That's
just be able to do that. Yeah. Oh, was that when you were living abroad that you became?
Oh yeah. So when I was teaching yoga in Costa Rica for 3 months, there was another volunteer there who's a Reiki master, and there was some other girls there as well that were also volunteers, and we just became very close, and we did a lot of meditations, and she gave us Reiki a lot, and we did a lot of like inner work, and it was really Costa Rica's powerful all by itself, but doing something like that and living in the jungle every day with these women and having these connections with these super spiritual women every day was profoundly life-changing for me. And one of the one woman who was a Reiki master, she suggested she was going to be giving a Reiki training, and she asked if I wanted to join. And I was like, absolutely. I'm like, it feels like the right next step for me. If I didn't know really anything about it before I met her, but I learned so much when I was there, and the training and the practice has changed my life. Like, I'm so much more in tune to the energy around me and within me. And it's crazy. I never would have known. Yeah.
Wow. I'm a little envious. I think,
You should do it.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying, you kind of have, I'm trying to think about when you come back home. And
I'll give you Reiki. I'm coming home next month. I'll be home November and December.
Okay. Well,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Where I was going with that is, you seem, I mean, let's be honest, like, American culture and, where you have been living and expanding, sometimes when you come home, is it hard to find connection? And, I'm sure you're not here long and all that, but, yeah.
Good questions. Coming home is really hard. I'm not going to lie. I love seeing my family and my friends, of course, and I miss them all dearly, but it's hard. I just don't feel like I connect on the same level anymore. And I mean, I am the same person, but I'm also different. And the things that are important to me now are very different than the things that that were important to me when I lived there. And also the culture there is just so different from what I'm used to now. And to me, it's just very toxic, and it's just so fast, and it's so.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know. And everybody's
I'm joking. No.
And I'm just like, it gives me a headache just thinking about it. Like, just the whole rest of the world is so calm. Like, nobody's in a hurry out here. But I just feel like I'm very anxious when I'm at home. And I feel like the energy just doesn't feel right to me. So it's a little challenging, but I love seeing my friends and family and my niece and my nephew and all the people. And I miss everybody so much, and I cherish that time. But it can be a bit challenging because it's different. It's different than when I'm living there.
I totally hear you. And thank you for so eloquently, responding to that, because I think, also a lot of times, the fact, let's forget that you're overseas, but, just connecting on some of these awakenings and essences and all the things. It's kind of twofold. Like, I think so much of this happens in isolation, right? And where you do have to take dedicated amounts of time to sit with yourself and have these acknowledgments and illuminations and all of the things. But yeah, I can relate about just kind of connection on conversation around these important realizations and all those things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's challenging. It is.
I was gonna, maybe you're gonna not like this. Can I ask you how is the dating life over there?
Oh, you can ask. The dating life is fine. I'm definitely dating. I'm not in a serious relationship, but yes, on my travels, I've definitely met plenty of people. And they've all been, it's just so great. There's a much wider pool out here, ladies.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole world. When people say there's a whole world out there, there really is. Like, I know that my mom used to say that all the time, and I was like, no, there's nobody, like, whatever. But once I feel like it's just really, I feel really lucky that I get to travel the world and meet so many different people, and people from all different cultures and backgrounds and spiritualness and everything. And it's just so fun to get to know different men. I'm hetero, so it's just really nice to meet different men in that way, in that capacity. And
not at a Packers game.
Yeah, it's totally different. Not at a
Sorry.
Packers game, generally not at a bar. Where do I meet people? I meet people in coffee shops, a lot of coffee
Oh,
shops, because I'm really not
yeah.
on the dating apps. A lot of people who travel are. That's like a really big thing out
I
here.
suppose because you can kind of prearrange. I don't know, but stay away from those.
And
Ooh,
I'm not a
yeah.
fan. I have tried it, but I'm not, those don't have never really worked for me anyway. And so I don't know why they would here, but I like to meet people. I like to meet people in the wild. Like
Love
out in
me
real
too,
life.
girl. I think the more that we, a lot of people on the dating apps, and myself included, I have been a fan. Not really, but yeah, it's kind of like, well, this is all we got. This is all we
Yeah.
got. No, and
Yeah.
I don't drink. I don't go to bars. I don't go to churches. But when you put
Mhm.
yourself out there and have the idea, soften up to the idea that we still can meet people in the wild, that's when the magic happens. And
Exactly. I still believe.
you get to have the magic with like amazing sunsets and beaches and
This is so true.
things. So, yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
nobody's serious. No one's serious. Maybe
gotcha.
someday. Not close to the
Uh,
idea, but not now.
yeah, I mean, I think I, I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is I want because,
Well, that's
you
super
know,
important, and I think that's maybe why
mm,
I'm kind of laissez-faire about it because I'm
right.
not ready. I'll know when I'm ready. Like, I'm
Yeah.
still doing so much work on myself.
Mhm.
I need to love myself 110% before I can love somebody else and let somebody else in completely. And I'm not there yet. And I know that. And that's
Yeah.
okay.
And
Yeah.
no pressure here. I enjoy, there's a lot of singlehood happening with women over
Yeah.
here. And so,
That's good
uh,
too.
yeah, but it can be challenging, especially I was someone who was married 20 years and then like entering into this. I don't know how to date. I don't like what. Anyway, enough
Yeah.
about that.
That's a
Um,
whole different
yeah,
podcast.
that's a whole season.
Mhm.
Well, what else? Do you have any sort of like trips? Or are you going to is your plan to stay in Albania until like your next retreat or
Well,
how?
that's a good question too. So many good ones. Well, I know I'm going because I haven't been home for the last two Christmases, the last 2 years. My family was really wanting me to come home, which I get. And I was kind of missing Christmas a little bit last year as well. So I'm going home for the holidays. So I decided to go home. My birthday's in November and my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. And I haven't been there for Thanksgiving either. So I figured I would knock them all out. So I'll be home in November and December, and then I'll leave again in January. And
Ah,
I don't know where I'm going yet. Maybe I do want to come back to Albania at some point, but I don't know when. Maybe not in the winter because I think it's still kind of cold here, and I really
mm.
like warm weather. I'm so
Yeah.
scared to come home. By the way, I'm going to be freezing.
Ah,
But
I'll keep you warm.
thanks.
No.
But
Yeah.
I do have to be in Morocco by March, so I'll definitely
Oh,
be in
okay.
March for my retreat. Yeah.
Well, that's so something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And yeah, November's just around the corner.
Yeah. It's a month away.
But
I can't believe it.
I would like to meet up and discuss Reiki. I want to,
We will. I'll give you
yeah.
Reiki. We'll do it.
Okay.
That would be
Let's do that.
fantastic. Yeah. I love
Cool.
it.
Well, if somebody's looking to reach out and they're, thinking about working with you, what's the best way to do that and to find you?
Well, you can go to my website, which is wanderingtowardthelight.com. So just toward, no S, just toward the
Mm-hmm.
light. And then my handle at IG is the same. At Instagram, it's at Wandering Toward the Light. On Facebook, you can find me at Robyn Stimmick, my name, which is right here. I think that's my Facebook handle. Anyway, just go to Instagram. Everything's there. I have a Linktree app there too, which has everything listed. All my
Oh,
retreats,
cool.
all my website, all my social media, everything. So that's probably the simplest. Linktree is at Wandering Toward the Light too. And
Perfect.
it's all at wandering toward the light. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And we will have a link to all of it too in the episode description here. And I am just deciding to read this off now. But yeah, I was supposed to mention you're a writer, a yogi, and a transformation travel and spirit guide.
Yes, that's my official title.
Love it, love it, love it. And I just think it's so inspiring to just hear these stories of, total transformation and transition, and really digging deep and trying to find out, who you are before we forgot who we are, and
remembering it because we've always been there. And that's one of the biggest things I talk about in my business too, is that I have a program called the Remembering Path. And it's really, we are born who we are, but then we just forget who we are and all the societal things that go on and childhood conditioning and blah, blah, blah. So coming back to ourselves is so important. So it is a remembering.
I love it. And I really do feel all of that is so true. And also just very poignant in where we are in this day and age. It makes sense with materialism and all of the things that we have, our cellular phones, all the, and so I really, truly appreciate and honor you and anyone helping people remember, and just spreading, again, ways to find the light and see our light. And it's such a beautiful message. And thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes. I really, really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, we will be in touch next month. And let's keep in touch. This was fun. I love to stay abreast of all of your travels and happenings.
Anytime, anywhere.
2026 is the year of travel for me. So
okay, good.
Yes.
Fantastic. Let's do it.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you, my love. And thanks guys for tuning in. This was fun. We'll talk soon, Robyn.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
For more information, please visit mindsonmushrooms.com. Thank you for joining the journey.